Have you ever stopped to think about the fact that, right now, you are moving at 1,000 miles per hour? No, really, you might feel like you're sitting still, but because the Earth is spinning, you're actually traveling faster than a jet plane. Now, here's the real question. What if that all suddenly stopped? What would happen if, in the blink of an eye, the Earth just froze? Would we survive? Would the planet tear itself apart? Or is there something even stranger that could happen? First things first, if the Earth suddenly stopped, everything on the surface would keep moving at its original speed. That means buildings, trees, oceans, and you would be launched violently forward at over 1,000 miles per hour. Imagine every single object on Earth being flung sideways at hurricane speeds. Cities would be wiped out in seconds. The oceans would surge inland, creating tsunamis that swallow entire continents. And the atmosphere? It wouldn't stop spinning either, meaning we'd be hit with winds stronger than any tornado ever recorded. Could anyone possibly survive this? Now, some people might wonder, if the Earth stops spinning, does that mean gravity would stop working too? The good news? Gravity wouldn't disappear. That's controlled by Earth's mass, not its rotation. But here's where things get weird. Right now, the force of the Earth's spin gives us a slight outward push, like when you spin a bucket of water without it spilling. Without that spin, things would feel heavier. Would we slowly feel our bodies getting heavier and heavier? Could this change how we move, how we live, or even how we age? Here's another crazy thought. Without rotation, one side of the planet would be stuck in permanent daylight, while the other would be in endless night. Think about it. Half the world would burn under a never-ending sun, while the other half would freeze in eternal darkness. Imagine deserts turning into giant, lifeless ovens, while frozen wastelands expand into icy voids where nothing can survive. Could humanity adapt to this new world? Could we live in the thin strip of twilight between the two extremes? Or would we be forced to move underground, like a species trying to escape a dying planet? Now let's talk about something most people forget, the moon. Right now, the moon orbits the Earth because of our gravity and the balance created by our spin. But if the Earth suddenly stopped, that balance would be thrown off completely. Could the moon start drifting away? Would it crash into us? Or could it end up spiraling out of orbit, leaving Earth in complete darkness forever? How much of our world depends on something as simple as a spinning planet? Now, here's something truly terrifying. Without rotation, Earth's magnetic field would eventually shut down. And that's a big problem. Why? Because that field protects us from deadly solar radiation. Without it, the sun's radiation would strip away our atmosphere, turning Earth into something like Mars, a barren wasteland with no air and no protection from cosmic radiation. Would we have time to escape? Would humanity be forced to become a spacefaring species, living in orbit or on another planet? Or would we simply fade into extinction? But let's think about another possibility. What if the Earth didn't stop suddenly, but instead just gradually slowed down? Would the effects be just as deadly, or even stranger? Time itself would start behaving differently. Days would grow longer and longer. Imagine a world where a single day lasts a year, where you wake up in the morning and the sun doesn't set for 6 months. Would humans evolve to adapt? Would we become nocturnal, hiding from the burning sun? Or would we develop technology to keep our planet's climate stable? Could we control our own world's rotation to prevent disaster? Alright, before you panic, let's be real. This isn't happening anytime soon. Earth has been spinning for billions of years and it's not going to stop overnight. But here's a mind-blowing fact. Earth's rotation is actually slowing down. Very, very slowly. Millions of years from now, days will be longer than 24 hours. Eventually, our planet might become tidally locked, meaning one side always faces the sun, just like the moon always shows the same face to us. So while a sudden stop is unlikely, a future where Earth's rotation is completely different isn't impossible. How will that change life as we know it? And will we be ready for it? So let's leave you with this. Our planet feels solid, stable, and predictable, but it's only one force away from total chaos. What other things about our world do we take for granted every day? What if one day something we've always depended on, something as simple as Earth's spin, suddenly changed forever? Would we survive? Or would we discover that we were only ever passengers on a planet we barely understand?